everybody, it's Chris from the Evermore podcast, your Newcastle United podcast, and the Evermore YouTube channel. We're back with another Rumour Has It video tonight. We're going to be discussing a player that has been linked to Newcastle this transfer window. And it's a very interesting player, actually. It's kind of come out of nowhere, really. We all thought he was going to be headed for Arsenal. But apparently, Newcastle United have been holding talks with his club. So we're going to get stuck into that in a minute. It's a very good player, the player I'm really excited about. I know a lot of the boys in the Evermore team are excited about him because we talked about him way before the transfer window opened. But just before I do a little bit of housekeeping, if you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. I would love you to come and join us. It really helps the channel grow. It helps us bring loads more content to you like this through the summer before the season starts. And we're really enjoying doing it, and thank you so much to everybody who subscribed so far and left some lovely comments as well. It's really nice. So let's get stuck into this player. So the player I'm talking about is Raphinha of Leeds United. Sorry, Phil, our good mate Phil. But Leeds look like they're definitely selling some of their prized assets off. Obviously, Calvin Phillips is off to Man City, and Raphinha definitely wants to leave the club now. Anyone who doesn't know who Raphinha is, anyone who watches the Premier League probably should do, but he's a 25-year-old winger. Left-footed predominantly, obviously been brilliant for Leeds. That first season they came up under Bielsa, he was absolutely brilliant. You know, breathtaking football they were playing. You know, he was a real key ingredient for it. You can see his kind of key stats, you know, in terms of his strengths, long shots, set pieces. He loves to cut inside. In terms of his shot accuracy, is not one of his biggest strengths, and nor is his pass completion. But you can see the greens there, you know, in terms of his goals. He does score a lot of goals as a winger. His shots are decent enough, you know. He's got, you know, nearly 2.5 shots a game. He's in the 78th percentile. His dribbles are really strong as well, you know, 4.5 dribbles a game in the 88th percentile. His kind of key passes, you know, over 2 a game, you know, at the 75th percentile. You know, so he is a decent winger. You can see he hugs that touchline quite a bit. Then he cuts inside and obviously looks to make things happen. Mark's done one of his radar stat slides there, which is a comparison to Alan St. Maximin. I think that the biggest differences really between the two, as you can see, is Maxi has more assists and Raphinha has more goals. So, I mean, depending on what this team requires, you know, you're looking at one or the other, but why couldn't you play both? Why couldn't you have Raphinha and Maxi either side of Callum Wilson, a fully fit Callum Wilson? I mean, Christ on a bike, that front three would scare the shit out of most defenders in the Premier League, in my opinion. You know, so I think Maxi's still definitely got a big part to play in this side. There has been talk about Maxi moving on. I don't know whether that's just paper talk, but if he wants to move on, Raphinha would be a hell of a replacement for him. But at the minute, there does seem to be, I think, a talk of Newcastle aren't going to meet Leeds' valuation of 60 million quid. And I think that's what's causing a problem for Raphinha at the minute in terms of moving away from the club. I mean, there's been loads of clubs linked. There's been Barcelona apparently are sniffing around. Arsenal obviously were heavily involved as well and still seem to be heavily involved. And now we've come to the table. So, you know, that transfer fee might just prevent Raphinha from leaving Leeds, and it might get a bit messy and it might get a bit ugly, and you'll end up in a situation where a player doesn't want to come back for pre-season. And I don't understand why clubs get themselves in this situation. You know, if the lad wants to leave and you can get a decent fee for him, then go get a decent fee from him and, you know, and move on and buy a replacement. You know, I mean, Leeds for me, I think, are going to struggle to replace these players. You know, Phillips and him in particular are the two best players, hands down. You know, obviously Bamford's completely knackered at the minute as well, so I don't see him coming back really, you know, anytime soon to what he was when he got that England call up. So if Leeds are going to sell those two players, and they're not going to replace them with anywhere near that quality because they won't be able to afford it, and other clubs will be in for those players. You know, there could be relegation for the next season, but, you know, obviously they have to do what they have to do. But in terms of Newcastle United, I don't think Raphinha for 60 million quid is worth that figure. You know, maybe you're talking kind of between 45 and 50 possibly for a player of that quality. You know, it's that kind of hiked up price, you know, but we've just signed Sven Botman for 32 million quid. You know, we've got Bruno Guimaraes for just under 40 million quid. You know, and these lads are playing Champions League football, you know, so Raphinha was in a relegation fight. So sometimes, you know, reality has to come to the fore here, and you have to say, come on, take the piss, you know. The lad has just been fighting relegation for you. You know, he's not worth 60 million quid. But that's the tax of the Premier League, unfortunately, when you're trying to buy these prize assets. But yeah, I think Raphinha is a cracking player. I think he would fit into our side really well. I think he grafts. I think he's got quality. I think he could play in the front three with Maxi. He could play, you know, as one of the two wide men with Maxi as well. Obviously, both left-footed, but I don't see any problem with that. But Moussa Diaby still being linked as well. You know, they're two massive wingers and unbelievably talented players. If we could get either one of those two in, this squad improves exponentially. No offense to Miggy Almiron and even Ryan Fraser, who's been brilliant for us last season. If one of these two lads comes in, Fraser ain't getting in that team, and unless Raphinha's out on the left and Fraser's on the right and Max is on the bench, I don't know. Or maybe even playing off a Callum Wilson in the free role. But again, it'd be great to have these problems, having these unbelievably quality players in the squad and having these headaches. And it's up to Eddie Howard and Jason Tyndall to make those decisions and decide who they're going to play when they do finally get that full squad to go at the season with. But a brilliant player to be linked to. I'd be buzzing if Raphinha come. Let us know what you think in the comments below, guys. We always love to hear from you. If you think Raphinha would be a good bit of business for Newcastle United, 60 million quid, is it too much? Or is that about right? Let us know what you guys think. We always do our best to try and reply to you as quick as we can. And we love the engagement with you as well. But as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, please click the like and subscribe button. Come on board, hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss any more Rumour Has It videos or any more specials or podcasts that we're doing. We'll be back on Wednesday with an Evermore show. It's probably going to be more of a routine Evermore show, just kind of covering off some of these transfer deals and the new sleeve sponsors. It's hard to say that after a couple of pints, isn't it? Sleeve sponsors. But we'll be back on Wednesday for a bit of crack, so jump in the live comments as well and let us know what you think. Until then, let's keep supporting that team. We'll call United. This is Chris signing off. We'll be back with another Rumour Has It video soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.